Right, it says we're live,
Hey,
which
that's gotta be good.
in theory, Nick, means we should be able to go to iPad, iPhone, click preview, and then we should get this little red thing. You've got the little red thing?
That's the theory. Not yet.
Oh, you've not got the little red thing?
No.
Oh,
Oh, it is now just gone red.
you see, yeah, good, okay. Note of panic in my voice there. Right, okay, so we're going live on Amazon Live. We're live on YouTube as well today. And before we go any further, well, we've got 18 seconds left. We'll just let everybody connect. And then we'll come live on air and see what we can do. 5, 4, oh, that just disappeared. Hello, Nick. We are live.
We get there in the end.
Yeah, you're frozen.
Am I?
One of us is.
Oh no.
Well,
it's
let's
me.
just get to the bottom of this. So I'm here.
Yeah, I'm here, but
we have a viewer. That's good. The cards here. Let's just.
I'll refresh if I'm frozen.
Nick's refreshing whilst I show you a beautiful view of Savernake Forest. So that's Nick refreshing, so I can take that off and come back. Okay, hello Amazon Live. Hello, and it says Nick's ready to rejoin the broadcast. So let's go for this. I can see OBS. I can see Nick. 3, 2, 1.
We're gone.
We've cracked it.
Hopefully.
Okay, you're watching Lights Camera Action live from Be Live. Talking about Lights Camera Action with Stephen and Nick, so we can remove that. Then we've got the picture. We'll hide the picture, and then we've got the fact that I wanted to show you how sunny it is today in Devizes, about 74 degrees, and there's a gentle breeze blowing through my neighbour's gardens.
That does look nice.
Switch that camera off and come to Nick and me, he said. I'm just waiting for that to happen. Right, okay. So we're here.
Right. Fantastic.
Okay, now we were talking before the broadcast. We've got a situation where gigabit or giganet or fast internet is arriving. 900 megabyte download, 900 megabyte upload, which is sort of the thing that we've been waiting for ages for, Nick.
It is. So we can, well, now you can do it already, but if you've got a 4K webcam, that should allow us to live stream on YouTube, I believe.
That's it. Yeah, because you need a 20 megabyte upload.
Yeah.
But the thing that we started on this journey, we signed up about 9 months ago, and they said, okay, if you sign up now, you can have a year for free, which is quite a deal.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
Yeah, so we signed up right at the beginning, and then it went on for a while, and then they said, right, okay, we're ready to go now. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to send you our engineers. They will install the new router and connect it via cable to the telegraph pole. Yeah, and we said, what? You don't need to dig up the road? No, it's not done by digging up the road these days. Basically, we just need to lay a cable from the telegraph pole to your house, and that's it.
Wow.
So they came along first time, because this is quite a saga. They came along first time, 2 engineers, and they spent 20 minutes outside before they knocked on the door. And you knew then that you were in trouble, yeah? Because if they 20 minutes outside, and they said, okay, we've got a problem. And the problem is this, that you have to be in line of sight of the telegraph pole. In other words, the cable that we put across cannot cross anybody else's property. That is now illegal. BT used to do it for years, yeah? But now you've got to be line of sight, okay? But worry not, because we have this magic bracket which you can put up on the top, and then we can. Yeah, okay. So we can't do it now, but we're going to order it, and we're back in a week. So week
Okay.
goes by, and two different engineers turn up, and they say, right, okay, we've got the bracket, everything's good. We're going to install your boxes. So we've got the router installed on the outside and inside, and that's all swimmingly good. And they said, right, okay, we're going to put the cable up. And we said, right, okay. Yeah. So they put the bracket up, and then they said, we can't install the cable for you. And we said, well, why can't you install the cable? Well, that particular telegraph pole actually carries electrical power, and we are not certified to actually do it.
Oh,
We're not given the gloves to do it. We've not been on a training course. Our bosses say we can't touch it. So we said, okay, what happens next then? Well, we'll wait for somebody who's got the gloves and the training to come. So 3 days later, two different engineers turned up, and they said, right, okay, we've got the gloves, we've got certification, but we've got some bad news for you. We can't lay the cable in, it just won't go, because line of sight and everything. Even though we can technically do it, it's illegal. So we're sorry that we're going to be the third set of engineers to say, no, you can't.
oh no.
And we said, well, what happens now? Oh, we said, now a man with a digger will come along and dig up the path and lay the cable in the ground. And we thought magical, because we've got the router and got everything. And
Yeah.
Then they said, okay, now there is a waiting list for this guy with the digger. He's not very busy, but there's a queue of people. So we're sat here waiting. Everything is being installed. The router's in. Everything's ready to go. And we're just waiting for the man with the digger to come along.
Oh, wow.
So first stop is cable from a telegraph pole, providing its line of sight. Then second stop is the digger. So you will get it one way or the other. Yeah, it's just a question of being patient. And then the 4K cameras will work. And then when we upload something to Google Drive, it won't stop the internet.
No.
That's the difference. Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. Oh well, I'm looking forward to the day. As I said to you earlier, we actually just had a letter through saying, "Oh, would you be interested in it?" And so we've had to do a pre-sign up. But I don't think it's. I could say I wasn't sure if it's any time soon. I'm not sure it's the same company actually. Is it just the one company doing it? Steve?
No, it's franchised.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I think they've given different areas to different companies. They're all using the same technology. But anyway, okay, so
That'll be good.
It's on its way. Over to Si, say hello to Si.
Hey, hi Si.
Hello, Stephen and Nick. And hello, Si. And I was waiting for the second comment. I've pressed it. It will be here in a second. No, I haven't. Hello, Stephen. I pressed the wrong comment. In fact, it's so good, we've got a comment twice.
We got it twice. On each Amazon page.
Yeah, that's right. So we're working.
Awesome.
We've got everything we've got everything in stereo. Right, it's Monday, and we've just been talking about the fact that in the UK, almost every Monday is a public holiday. Last time Nick and I broadcast together was May 22nd. This year, mind you, but May 22nd. So we're talking about possible changes, but for the moment, it is Monday, and Monday means the movie quiz. So let's bring in, without further ado, the movie quiz.
We do like
I'm going to show this on screen, and I'm going to put it full screen. Okay, so there we have it. There is the movie quiz. Oh, we don't need to go full screen, do we? We can actually go.
Oh no, you've got the extra.
We've got the extra
functionality.
Yeah, we can go like this. Ooh. No, not like that. Like that. There. That took some doing. All right. Okay. So, movie quiz, movies, categories. I'll just read them. And the categories are general, awards, characters, connections, directors, Disney, James Bond, matches, quotes, titles, plots, soundtrack specials, Star Wars and superheroes, and then the last two we never bother with. So
All right.
that's about it. Where
Oh,
should we
what
go?
should we do? I don't, have we ever done a specials?
Let's do a special then.
I'm not sure we've done that.
Okay. No. Okay. Yes, we have been here, but we've got so many choices. So,
Oh.
Nick, Alfred Hitchcock, Charlie Chaplin, Die Hard, Harry Potter, Jurassic,
Well,
Hunger Games, Godfather.
Oh, Godfather might be okay.
Right, let's go for Godfather movie trilogy then.
Famous last words. I'd
Okay.
rule out anything Harry Potter or Hunger Games, that's for certain.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Right now, the way that this works, oh, my iPad's gone to sleep. Hopefully we're still broadcasting. Hang on.
Yeah, we're still there.
Okay, we're still there. Right. Okay, so we've got 10 questions. I'm going to read the odd questions. Nick will read the even. When I've read the odd question, Nick will demonstrate something from his portfolio, and then vice versa. That's the way it works. We've got 10 multiple choice questions. Our aim is to get 10 out of 10. Occasionally we have done it. Okay, where's your explanation then? Godfather movie trilogy quiz. How well do you know these three classic crime drama films about Vito and Michael Corleone, the father and son leaders of a ruthless mafia empire? Let's press play. All right, question one, which I will read according to the rules. Which of these actors won an Oscar for his role in The Godfather, released in 1972? Was it Robert Duvall, James Caan, Marlon Brando, or Al Pacino? And whilst we're thinking about that, do you have any ideas, Nick?
I think I know.
Okay, that's good enough for me. Whilst we're thinking, Nick, you have something to show us.
I do indeed, and it's in the carousel. I've not actually switched it on today, but it is this. This is my favourite webcam. It is the Mevo Start, and there's a couple of reasons that I love it. Firstly, it's got a brilliant f2.8 Sony lens, which does beautiful stuff. It's got a brilliant processor in it. It has got a 3 mem mic array, so it's got lovely audio. It's got a 6-hour battery life. I'll tell you about that in a minute. And around the back here, we can plug in our microphones. We can actually plug in a cord and have it as a wired webcam. But the really cool thing about this is that it's a wireless webcam. And I was playing with it the other day and just making sure I was doing it on a live stream. And I'm not sure how we can do it with myself and Stephen, but basically I had this in the garden, totally wireless, using BeLive. And so I could have garden cam, which is always good fun. I know. I thought, because normally, well, I'll come to it. Normally, you'd have to use their own software, but we're using BeLive, and it was all on the same network, so it's all good. But yeah, so a wireless webcam. So it means we can go to where the action is happening. So maybe you've got your kids' little sports days, very popular in the UK right now. Lots of sports days happening in schools. Sports days. You've got end of term shows, graduation ceremonies. All these things we can go live stream. And I know what you're saying. Yeah, we can do that on our phones. And you can. However, with this, because it's a little outside broadcasting studio, we can actually live stream wherever we want. We can go directly to YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, and anywhere we want, because it's got RTMP, real-time messaging protocol, and that allows us to live stream. We could live stream on Amazon. We can live stream on our websites and our blogs. Absolutely anywhere. There's nowhere we can't live stream. Now, it's going to be using up either cell phone data or a Wi-Fi hotspot. The choice is yours. Let me turn it around and back again. And the lovely thing is 1080 high definition, and it's got a little slot for an SD card. So I've got a little 128 gig SD card in there. That will give me 14 hours of recording on 1080 high definition, which is twice the length of the battery. So whilst we're live streaming, we're actually getting a high definition recording absolutely perfectly direct from the camera. So if anything goes wrong, if you're fighting over bandwidth, because lots of people will be streaming their youngsters or their church services, and then you're fighting over bandwidth. If anything goes wrong, God forbid, you've got a fantastic copy for when you get home, and you can adjust it and play with it. I've had this about a year now, and it is still over 6 hours the battery life, because I always leave it and let it run. But yeah, still over 6 hours. There's no draining on the battery, and we can control it. And see if I can show you this on the phone. We control it with a couple of little apps. So let's pull it across. Oops, get the right one. Okay, so we've got a little app here. So that's for single. So if I'm using it with BeLive, I can use that single camera. And I've got this one multi-camera here. And now, because we've also got a new app called Mevo Go, that's up there, that's what allows us to use the multi-camera function. So we don't just have this camera. So if we're out and about, we can't use BeLive. We've got our recording studio, we've got our live stream studio with our phone. And so we can use this. We can take the iPad, and we could actually have two cameras. We could actually have three cameras, different ones. In the past, it was always had to be the Mevo. Now it can be a Mevo and another camera as well. It is so good. I was having a good play with it over the weekend. It works like a charm, and it just makes life so much more fun when you've got more than one camera. You can set it on auto director, and it will flip from one camera to the other camera, and that just keeps people engaged and occupied. And it really is a fantastic piece of kit. We control it all with our cell phones. We control the lighting, the audio. We can even do NDI, so we can do it browser based. It is just a fantastic piece of kit. And so for that sort of money, that's why I think this is just, for me, still my absolute favorite webcam and live streaming cam. So that's the Mevo Start, and in the carousel, I think it's $395 today. Not got a little discount on it today. No, $396.31, and someone's clicked it, so thank you very much for clicking. And that's it. Yeah, so you could do a lot worse than just having one of these. I'm glad now that I didn't get the set of three, because I controlled it all with the pad, the iPad, and I had the Mevo and the 4K iPhone 12 Pro used as the cameras. Really good fun.
Still on my wish list, then. Still on my wish list. Thank you for watching us live on Amazon. We're actually playing the movie quiz because it's Monday. And which of these actors won an Oscar for his role in The Godfather, released in 1972? Was it Robert Duvall, James Caan, Marlon Brando, or Al Pacino? How good is your Godfather knowledge, Nick? Probably better than mine, I would think.
Well, I got a feeling. I think the first one was Marlon Brando. I think he got it, and the first one.
Okay, so we're going to go with Marlon Brando to get us off to a start. Spot on, Nick. Well played, which brings us nicely to relief.
Yeah.
Nicely to question 2.
Brilliant. Okay, so sticking with The Godfather, which actor played the role of Michael Corleone in the Godfather movie trilogy? Was that played by Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, Sylvester Stallone, or Joe Pesci? So yeah, who played Michael Corleone in the Godfather movie trilogy? I think we might know that one.
Yeah, I think the reaction to Joe Pesci being in the list was the same from both of us. Well-known mobster, but I don't think. Anyway, we can't give you too many clues. But thank you for clicking whilst you're watching, and it's now my turn. And okay, let's do this. Right, you're looking at down in the carousel. First item in my carousel. I'm going to zoom back until we get to it. 3 things important in live broadcasting, and the first of those has got to be having a good camera. Okay, better the camera, you better look on camera, greater the presentation, more people will watch. That's the equation. Yeah, we'll start off with the camera that's actually built into our PC or Mac, and that's fine. But if you get bitten by the live video bug, you want to improve. And Tony Robbins says continual and never-ending improvement should be the goal, and you want to improve your presence on camera, you want to improve how you look on camera, the camera to choose at the moment is the Nexigo N970p, which is down in the carousel, and it's 21% off today. We're saving of $40, and you're looking at it now. You can't say further than that. This is what it looks like. It is a 4K camera, which means it's capable of broadcasting in 4K. Now, that means that it's like a 4K television. Okay, the picture quality is just so good. So many pixels being transmitted that it just looks good. Yeah, if you want to look good on screen, use a 4K camera. And both Nick and I are now in the queue to get Giganet internet, and then we can actually use the darn things on YouTube. But you can use this out of the box straight away. If you're a content creator and you have Camtasia, you can add this camera as Camtasia, and basically you can create 4K content now, the best quality available to us as consumers. You can use Camtasia, and then you can upload the video to Vimeo or YouTube, and people can watch you in glorious 4K. It doesn't get any better. You'll be at the cutting edge, because now is the time to get involved in 4K. And the thing is that this camera has a Sony CMOS sensor, which gives it such a high quality picture, which is why I actually bought the camera in the first place. It's just the quality of the picture. It has dual noise cancelling microphones, and is made by Nexigo, who are based just outside Seattle. Range of 16 cameras, ranging from $60 to $149.99 that we've got on this camera. And this is the top of the range. This is towards the top of the range. You can't get much better than this. This is a conference camera. It's Zoom certified for web conferencing. You can use it on Zoom or WebEx or anything Google, and you could have Google Meet, or you could have Google Meet, depends which one of the flavors you actually use. As a conference camera, you would actually put it on a tripod, and I can show you how to do that if I go here for a minute. And then I change camera angle slightly. You don't want to put the camera out there. What you want to do is to put the camera here, and here being onto a tripod like this. So you put the camera on the tripod, put the tripod on the conference table, and it will pick up everybody who's sat around the conference table, because it can go from one person on screen to 3 people on screen to 5 people on screen. You don't need to do anything. It works out how many people are sat at the table, and it changes its angle of view accordingly. Yeah, so it's great as a web conference camera. 1 person, 3 people, or 5 people. But there's something special about every Nexigo webcam. Now, Nick's got a webcam in his carousel that's got a light attached to it, a ring light. I don't have that. I have the Nexigo N970p, which has the Sony CMOS sensor, but it also has flash memory. Using this remote control, which is actually supplied with the camera, 2 AAA batteries, I can control how I look on camera. I can show you my office. This is how I look. This is my office, and you can see a lot more of it than you could a moment ago. I can, using this remote control alone, zoom in so that I appear on camera as I want to. Yeah, I can go to the left, I can go to the right, and if we look at the control, using the preset button, I can set up to 10 different fields of view. Okay, so I can direct my own broadcast without touching the keyboard, simply by using this remote control. If I bring this on screen, this is like you've got a television, you know, you can press the settings button and it comes up with a menu. I've got the same here. I can change the exposure. Okay, and I'm on automatic at the moment, so the camera's taking care of everything. If I press another button, I'm in control and it doesn't look right. Okay, if we just compare, this is the manual, this is the automatic. The automatic, 9 times out of 10, is going to be exactly what you want. No need to change it, but you could if you wanted to. Next thing down, color-wise, you can change the color. At the moment, it's getting the best color it can. Okay, switch to manual, and I've got to adjust the color. switch to, and it's just getting worse and worse. Let's go back to automatic. You can adjust it all with the menu. Just coming down again to image. Okay, and I can go flip one way and the other and back again. And I can go black and white mode. So I've got fine control using this. I don't need any software. I can just use this remote control to take control of the camera. But you spend hours controlling the camera, getting it perfect, and then you've got to take the camera to somebody else's computer, like my partner Angelica, or if I went out to visit Nick, I'd take my best camera with me. If I plug this into Nick's computer, it will work straight away because it remembers everything that I do. Everything that I do with the menu or with the controls, it will remember and it saves it in flash memory. I've got a comment coming in. And Sai is saying, 200 hearts, somebody must really like you. Well, we're working together today, so we should have twice as many as normal, but I'm grateful to everybody who's actually clicking the heart button. It does make a difference. As we come back, and I'll take myself off solo for a second. So that's it. That's the camera down in the carousel, Zoom certified N970p, 21% off, $40 saving. It's a great camera for solo use or for use in conferencing. Okay, all of which brings us back to, and thank you for the comments, Si. And the comments are coming through twice.
Yes, they're coming through. It's interesting. They're coming through twice on yours and not coming through on mine. Yeah.
Okay, that's weird. I think, yeah. Okay, well, we're getting comments. We love comments. So thank you for. Oh, sorry, I've forgotten something. Just a minute.
So you're looking very black and white.
I'm very, yeah. I've got it. I need to come back on screen for a second. Let's just go down here and go to image and select that. Come down to black and white mode, and let's take black and white mode off. Come back to color. All good. Okay, so you don't need to adjust your sets now. We're good. Okay. Nick, it's yours.
Okay, so here we go with which actor played the role of Michael Corleone in the Godfather movie trilogy? Was it Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, Sylvester Stallone, or Joe Pesci? I think I know.
Okay, I'm going to put my glasses on so I can actually read it.
I think we can happily rule out Sylvester Stallone and Joe Pesci.
Yeah, I'm going to rule out Robert De Niro.
Yeah. So that only leaves one. I think it must have been Mr. Pacino.
Al Pacino. Okay.
Yay, well done.
Good. Right, question 3 then. Except for the parts set in Las Vegas, Miami, Havana, and Italy, the Godfather movies are mainly set in which city? Boston, Philadelphia, New York, or Chicago? Do you know Chicago's my kind of town? Couldn't resist. Okay. Whilst we're pondering that, and there are obviously 4 potential answers there, I've just been told that there's a debate going on in Parliament about Boris Johnson, which is of no interest whatsoever and not germane to this. So, Nick, it's over to you.
Fantastic. I'm just trying to find the camera in the carousel that I want to talk about because it's this little one here. I'm going to try and pull it without pulling it out of the back of the Mac. Yeah, this is the Neuron 2K camera, and in the carousel today, it's on a great little discount, 37% off. Unbelievably, this is $16.99 which is amazing for a 2K camera. So what's a 2K camera? Yes, indeed. So we normally have, well, we stream in on Amazon in 720, which is standard definition. So you think about CDs and things like, if you remember CDs, they were in standard definition. And then we move up to 1080 high definition. And then normally we flip to 4K ultra high definition. But this little one is just in the middle. So it's a little bit better than high definition, not as good as ultra high definition. But when I say as good, actually, it all depends on your point of view. I mean, it's like all these little webcams. It comes with the standard mounting on a tripod, but of course we can mount it on our screens as well, on our laptops and our Macs and PCs. It's got a built-in privacy, so we just slide that back and forwards. I do like that. That's a really great feature. And it rotates 360 degrees, and we can set it to look anywhere we want. Now, also, for your under $17, you've also got 2 little microphones either side. They're noise cancelling. And you got this great little 2K camera. Now, the other thing to know about this camera is that also you can either have it at 30 frames per second or 60 frames per second. So what's the difference? Well, the difference is obviously twice as many frames per second. But here's the thing. So you can have it at 2K at 30 frames per second, or you can dial it back down to high definition, 1080p, and have it at 60 frames per second. So that means that if you're moving around, you're not going to get any motion blur because you've got twice as many frames per second going through. It is absolutely incredible. Now, it doesn't come with any bells and whistles. There's no software that you can download that will help you. It is just what you get. You plug it in. It's a USB plug-in, and it is super simple. It plays straight away. There is nothing that you really need to do. But the audio is great. The video is great. So if you're using it, maybe if you're using it on like OBS or somewhere where you can control the input and output from the camera, then that's where you can set up which way you want it to record. But it is absolutely incredible. And for $17, $16.99 for a 2K, well, I think they call it a quad cam, I find that absolutely incredible. And it is, for that price, I would have to say that's probably the best entry-level webcam there is. So if you want to look yourself a little bit better than on your Zoom calls, on your Teams meetings, then you wouldn't go far wrong with one of these, because you're going to look sharper and crisper, particularly if you're running around your office. Maybe not, but yeah, that is, I just find it incredible, and it does exactly what it says on the tin for the price that is just spectacularly good. I've never seen anything that cheap, so good. It's amazing. There's not a lot more to tell you about it either.
No. I mean, it basically it does what it says on the tin, and it's a step up from using your internal camera. Yeah,
it is
brilliant.
Incredible.
Okay, all right. I'm going to read question 3 again, and we do need your help on this one. We're doing a movie quiz. Well, we'll explain by reading the question again. The question is, except for the parts set in Las Vegas, Miami, Havana, and Italy, the Godfather movies, and we're talking about the trilogy here, are mainly set in which city? Boston, Philadelphia, New York, or Chicago? Do we have an inkling, Nick?
Well, I'm pretty certain that the mafiosi, the Cosa Nostra, I think they were in New York.
Okay. So we're going to go with New York. We're playing well, Nick. 3 out of 3. Incredible.
It's one of those things that you suddenly, we pick it, and then it's suddenly I'm thinking, I've not actually seen one of those movies for many years.
It makes you want to go and watch them again.
They were beautiful, beautiful movies. Okay. Right. So, here we go. Which famous singer played the role of Johnny Fontaine in the Godfather movies? Was it Dean Martin, Al Martino, Perry Como, or Vic Damone? So he played Johnny Fontaine in the Godfather movies. Dean Martin, Al Martino, Perry Como, or Vic Damone. I'll be honest, I think I can whittle it down to 2.
Okay.
But I'm not sure which one.
All right. Well, wait. While you're whittling, I'll sort of take over the show with my next item, which is down the carousel, which is the Obswat Tiny 4K camera. which today is 11% off. Now, cameras, as we know, can make or break a live broadcast. This is certainly a camera that can make a broadcast noticeable, because this is not your standard static camera that sits on top of your monitor. If I show you one, you'll see why. This is an OBSWAT camera. I'll put the box behind it so you can see it a little bit better. There it is. It's only 3 inches tall, if that. It's got the lens on top, and then underneath that, it's got a 2-axis gimbal, and it's got the base. It's USB-C, USB-A. It plugs straight into your computer. We recognize straight away. OBSWAT, well-respected brand, but the things that make this different, that I said knocking my set to bits, you saw that live, is that basically the 2-axis gimbal means it can actually move left and right, and it can go up and down, or it can go down and up. Okay, it's on a gimbal, and that means it can actually track. Well, let's show you. Let's come back to me for a minute. So I'm going to click this button here and go here. So I'm coming back to me now, and this is the thing that actually sets the OBSWAT apart from other cameras. It's simply this, that I can press one button on the software and I can do this. Gone are the days when we wondered whether this would work or not. We now know that this works every single time. And what the camera does is it tracks me as I move about the office. It's got AI tracking built in. And we said it can go sideways, it can go up and down, and it can track you. Tracking modes, it's got a standard mode at the moment, which will put you in the center of the screen and give you headroom. It's got a fast tracking mode. If you're tracking sports or athletics, then it can do that. It's just a joy to work with, because you can sit down and present normally as you can with any camera. But with this camera, you're actually getting the fact that you can stand up and move about as well. And the thing is that when you do move about, the transitions are quite smooth. Okay, I'm moving in real time. The time now, he said, is 11:37. So this is live, and it just follows me. And I don't have to, my hands are here, I'm not doing anything. And the camera is tracking me as I actually move about. It's effortless. And it means that I can stand up and I can talk about and demonstrate these beautiful headphones. Just give me a second. Oh, I knew something had gone wrong. If you're doing a live demonstration, everything goes perfectly. All right, okay. I can demonstrate these Aftershokz headphones. These are the Aeropex. These are my favorite headphones. Brilliant for being outdoors, for walking, jogging, running and cycling. They're waterproof. They work up to 40 feet away from the mobile phone. So you can be in the garden listening to music. As we could today, Nick, if we weren't live today, we could be in the garden, cutting the grass.
We could indeed.
We could be in the garden cutting the grass, but we'd rather be here. In fact, we can go out in the garden afterwards because it's light till 9:30 now. But the thing about this camera is that I can stand up and demonstrate and show you things that are very difficult to do when I'm actually sat down. It has twin built-in noise cancelling microphones. It has this ability to actually track everything that you do. And it also has the ability to have 3 preset views. And I'm going to show you one of those now whilst I sit down. So let's go over to live reporting out into Wiltshire countryside. Well, it's not actually the countryside. This is my neighbour's gardens. And there is a gentle breeze today. It's about 73 degrees. Beautiful day. I've been out twice today. It's so good. Not too hot, Nick, is it?
Oh, it's lovely out. Beautiful.
So you've got 3 presets outside. The desktop I showed you a moment ago with the said camera there, and then back to me. And it's just a joy to control and work with. It's a very high quality picture. It is 4K. You can broadcast in 4K to YouTube out the box, providing you've got 20 megabyte upload. And in addition to that, you can create content locally Is my microphone working? Is the
Yeah.
noise cancellation on? My coughing shouldn't actually be getting through. So if it is, I need to adjust something. But you can create 4K content out of the box. Add this camera to Camtasia, and you can record in 4K. Then you can upload the video to Vimeo or to YouTube. People can watch it in 4K. You'll be ahead of the game as a content creator if you use a 4K camera. There's no reason not to. If you compare the prices of the 4K cameras now, especially this one today, which is 11% off, you're getting the best quality that we as consumers can get at the moment from a webcam. Don't need DSLR for this. This webcam just does the job. So let's go back. I've got to remember which button to press here. I think I pressed the right button. So I'm going to switch my mic off for a second. Over to you, Nick.
Yes. Okay. So let's get back to the question, which was, which famous singer played the role of Johnny Fontaine in the Godfather movies? Was it Dean Martin, Al Martino, Perry Como, or Vic Damone? And I don't know whether you know this, Stephen, or if anyone's watching, whether you know the answer, because I think it's Vic Damone, but I could be completely wrong. And Stephen's still muted, so that's so he's obviously agreeing with me.
Right, I am now unmuted, and I'm going to agree with you, and we're going to go with Vic Damone.
It was one or the other.
It was one. Yeah, mind. All right, question 5 then. We're halfway through the questions. There's question 5 of 10. Which of these actors starred as Vincent Mancini Corleone in The Godfather Part 3, 1990? Was it Andy Garcia, Leonardo DiCaprio? I'm not sure he was around then. As a star. I know he was born, but I don't think he was a star then. George Clooney or Ed Harris? Now, whilst Leo is too young, I think Ed may have been too old, but that's just me. Nick, whilst we're cogitating, do you have something to show us?
Yes, cogitate away, and let's pull this up into the carousel because it's got a juicy little discount on it. Now, I'm not actually physically using it right now, but it is never far. It is, of course, the amazing Blue Yeti microphone. Yeah, it's in there. It's got a 31% discount down to $89.99, and these Blue Yeti microphones are just so brilliant. They are absolutely bulletproof. I've had mine for many years now. It's like an old friend. I used to take it with me all over the place when I was doing presentations, and it was just brilliant. Now, okay, it is a 3 microphone array. It doesn't actually come with the cover, but you buy those separately only for a couple of dollars. And so this is what it looks like naked. But here we go. Because it's got this 3 microphone array, we've got some settings on the microphones. So we can have it cardioid, so it's like one directional if we're just using it. But then if I was sitting across, maybe if Steve and I were actually doing this in a studio together and he sat across from me, we could have it bi-directional, so both of us would be picked up beautifully. Then, of course, we can switch it around again and we can have it omnidirectional. So if you were recording a group, maybe, then we'd have it as omnidirectional. Now, also, we can have it as a stereo microphone as well. So we can switch it to stereo. And so when we move from one side of the room to the other, you will hear our lovely English voices going from right to left on your speakers. So that's all controlled with this little switch here. Now up here is the gain. So with the gain on the Yeti, well, certainly on mine, is very sensitive. So if I had the gain fully turned up and the max fan kicked in, you'd probably hear it. It's very, very good. So I always suggest to people is when you set it up, and it is so simple because literally you just plug it in USB-C into the back of your PC, Mac, laptop, go into the microphone settings in your control panel, and there you should see somewhere, I've not done it on Windows for a long time, certainly on Mac, we can play around with our microphone settings and our gain there. So just set it up, listen to it, see how it sounds. How do you listen to it? Well, underneath here we've got a little jack, so we can put our headphones in so we can actually hear what's coming out of the microphone. Whilst we're under here, under the boot, we've also got the standard microphone mounting as well. So we just screw it in. Nice screw mount. This is how we plug it in, just there, and then we plug the other side into the USB. Okay, on this side, apart from the beautiful branding, we have the volume controls. That volume controls what you hear when you're testing out. And here we have, in case there's a naughty little cough or sneeze coming up, we got the pause button so we can mute ourselves. Always remembering, of course, to unmute ourselves after the event.
Yes.
And also, when you're starting, then obviously do make sure that you're not muted. We've all been there. We've either switched ourselves off, or we've actually just had a whole broadcast where we just couldn't be heard. So do make sure that's okay, particularly if you're on Amazon, because Amazon will chuck you off, and you'll just suddenly realise the error of your ways. So we've got that lovely mounting here, but also it comes with the desk mount, so it's got nice little padding on the bottom. But yeah, it is absolutely fantastic, and it's one of those things that, you know, when you invest in a microphone like this, it's going to last you, you know, a long time, a lifetime, I'd like to say. And a quick story is that, you know, when I blagged my way into Abbey Road Studios a few years ago, where the Beatles and Pink Floyd and all these people used to record their stuff, they still have the microphones that they were using in the 60s as well. So if you're going to get a good microphone, it's going to last you for a long time. Now, because Blue Yeti were bought out by Logitech just decided to do something incredibly good, and they actually, with their G Hub, we can now control not only how the Yeti sounds, but also we can play different sounds. So we can totally control our voice sounds. We can have crazy effects. You can have great fun playing around with the effects. You can make sure your voice is beautiful and clear, but equally, you know, you can play air horns and applause. It's got a little sound deck in it as well. So it's just all these little things just make it even more attractive. If it wasn't attractive enough at $89.99, then with all the extra little bells and whistles that you can get, the G Hub from Logitech, then that's an excellent addition, and your sound will be amazing. So I always use either the Blue Yeti, or it's also in the carousel. I also use the Purple Panda. It is always a little toss-up as to which one I use. But yeah, that Blue Yeti with that discount, well worth it. You'd be doing yourself a favour if you bought one of those.
Indeed.
Sure.
And you are listening to the Blue Yeti right now, because I've got one as well. And it is a great sounding microphone. And I agree totally with Nick. All right, so back to the question then. And the question 5, which of these actors starred in as Vincent? Sorry, let's start again, shall we, Nick?
Yeah.
Which of these actors starred as Vincent Mancini Corleone in The Godfather Part 3? Andy Garcia, Leonardo DiCaprio, George Clooney, Ed Harris, and my plump is for option A.
I'd go with that, yep.
All right, so we're going to go with Andy Garcia, and we're back on track. Okay, which brings us to question 6, Nick.
Oh, I can still only see question 5.
Oh, wait a minute.
Aha! No, now I can see question 6. Okay, so which actor played the role of the elder Vito Corleone in the first 2 Godfather movies? Was it Paul Newman, Jack Nicholson, Dustin Hoffman, or Marlon Brando? Which actor played the role of the elder Vito Corleone in the first 2 Godfather movies? So if you know the answer, please do pop it in the comments. And I noticed that Sai is saying, I've never watched any of the Godfather movies. So I think we found a film you haven't actually seen then. My goodness. So Stephen, what is up in your carousel?
Right. Okay, well, let's just take a look at the carousel and what we've looked at so far. We've looked at the Nexago 970p. We've looked at the Obsbot Tiny 4K, and we've looked at, well, the next thing we're going to look at is this, which is, if I zoom back to the beginning of my carousel, the next item we're going to talk about, I hinted about it earlier, and that is a set of headphones, the Aftershokz Aeropex, which are down in the carousel now as the featured item, $129.95, and I am about to talk about them. Okay, what I've been trying to figure out is why I've got this border on my screen. I'm not sure why I've got the border. Weird.
Very fit.
Okay, because you didn't have the border. I got the border. You didn't have the border.
No.
Never mind.
I'm feeling a little bit left out.
What? You're sort of widescreen. I'm widescreen down in the staging area, but as soon as I come on screen, I lose part of my width. You can't see the map.
Ah, no.
Yeah, I've got the. I invested in a map of Wiltshire. Yeah, and nobody can see it.
I know, and it's really helpful in a
It
live
is.
stream.
Yeah, I might have to stand up and show it later. Right. Okay. So we're going to talk about a set of headphones, and they are two-hand, and they are the Aftershokz Aeropex down in the carousel, $129.95. Now, if you're a walker, runner, jogger, or cyclist, in other words, these are outdoors headphones, these are ideal because you want something that is waterproof, whatever the weather, and you also want something that's lightweight. Now, these only weigh 28 grams, which is about the weight of a bag of chips, or as we say in the UK, a bag of crisps. So it's very lightweight, which means I can wear these for 3 or 4 hours at a time, no problem. So I haven't done a marathon yet, but I might do a half marathon. I'll tell you how I get on, both in the marathon and with the headphones. Charge them for about an hour, and then they're good for 8 hours the following day. So I could just get a marathon in there, possibly. Now, the technology is simple and straightforward. First of all, these are, if I turn sideways, you can see that they go over my ear, which means there is nothing going inside your ear, which from a safety point of view for a walker, jogger, runner, cyclist is important, because you want to hear everything that's going on around you. Because these are over the ear headphones, you can hear everything that's going on behind you. You can hear the traffic behind you. You can hear somebody walking up behind you. I know that is true. You can see and hear everything in front of you. So you can actually hold a conversation with somebody whilst listening to loud rock music, because all you need to do is to pair these headphones. If I switch them on, yeah, so I'm going to switch them on now. And welcome to Aftershokz Battery High. And if I go to settings on my phone, and I go to and I go to Bluetooth, go anywhere. This is not going to work.
I was getting a little bit.
Can you hear anything?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, you can hear me. Okay, it's saying it can't connect. I obviously got something else going on. Okay, take it from me. It connects directly to your mobile phone, and then you can listen to Amazon Music. I need to reset. I did this earlier and it worked fine, but for the moment, it's not working. Okay, but it connects beautifully normally, except when you're doing a live demonstration. Now, I love these headphones. Angelica loves her Aftershokz headphones as well. So you've got 2 recommendations. But I'm a member of a lot of groups on Facebook which are tied in with walking, running, jogging, and cycling. And the question is asked every week: which headphones do you wear when you're out jogging, running, or cycling? And the answer is Aftershokz. Now, most people now use Aftershokz as the go-to headphones for being outdoors. And they work. They just simply work. They're not going to fall off. They're lightweight. Technology-wise, basically you've got 2 speakers. Sound travels through your cheekbones to your inner ear. Sound quality is good. It's got a good bass and a good range. So I can go out and listen to rock music, as I do half 11 every day. I'm out the door with my Fitbit, listening to rock music on these headphones, just walking 5 or 6 miles. Not a care in the world. Okay. But I can hear the traffic. Okay. But they just work out of the box. They are charged within the hour, good for 8 hours the following day, totally waterproof. Control-wise, you can switch them on and off. You can skip to next track. You can increase and decrease volume. Everything you want out of a set of headphones. Recommended by Stephen and Angelica and our peers as well. And that's it. That's the Aftershokz down in the carousel at $129.95. And let's come off me back to the quiz.
Yeah.
Oh no,
I've got
a
a pair of Aftershokz myself now. Thank you.
Oh, brilliant!
For your excellent promotion. So yeah, now running around with them. Well, I'll say running.
Right.
Jogging slowly.
Right, all of which brings us to question 6, which was?
To question 6. So, which actor played the role of the elder Vito Corleone in the first 2 Godfather movies? Was it Paul Newman, Jack Nicholson, Dustin Hoffman, or Marlon Brando? And I think it'd be fairly safe to say the other 3 aren't in it, so it must be Marlon Brando.
Okay. Which brings us nicely on to question 7. Okay, to a famous quote. Which word is missing from this famous quote from The Godfather, 1972? I'm going to make you an offer you can't something. And the options are refuse, ignore, accept, or decline. Whilst we're thinking about that, I'm going to give Nick the option to accept. Nick, it's over to you.
Thank you so much. Now, the eagle-eyed amongst you will have noticed I'm now looking at a different camera. And the reason being is I wanted to talk to you about the camera that I just put in the carousel. And that is this. This is another Nexigo camera. So we saw Stephen's Nexigo 4K camera a little earlier on. This is my little high definition 1080 camera here. And I bought this because I'd promised my great nephew, who wants to be a YouTuber, he's still got to wait another year yet. I promised him my other webcam that I was using. It was the C920 from Logitech. So being a good great uncle and stuck to my word and parted company with it, I realized I'd better get something else. So I scrolled through Amazon the way you do and did a little bit of research, and I came across the Nexigos. And absolutely, I think this is still probably one of the best entry-level webcams there is, because it's not just a webcam, but it also comes through with some extra software, which makes it a bit of a game changer as well. But like all these webcams, as we can see, it's got the standard mounting for a tripod. Again, we can pop it on our Macs and our PCs, hold it nice and steady. This was the very first camera I had that rotated 360 degrees. Those were the days when there was just one of us. It also has a privacy cover. Now that's a stick-on privacy cover, so be careful when you're putting it on. It does actually come with 2 in case you mess it up the first time, but and I thought I'd pretty much certain to do that, but actually no, it worked first time. It shoots in 1080 high definition. It's got a built-in noise cancelling microphone, so if you've got noisy neighbours, kids, cats, dogs, pets, parakeets, monkeys, whatever you might have, then a noise cancelling microphone is always worthwhile. But this is the thing, apart from the software, my favorite bit is this. This is the 3-stage built-in ring light. So if you imagine here, we've got a box light up there, I've got a ring light in front of me, got another ring light there. But if I had none of those lights, I could actually just live stream using this camera, because you're going to be beautifully lit up. So if you're if you're not using anything other than your built-in cameras for your Zoom calls, your Teams meetings, your Google Hangouts, then this would be a great idea to get one of these, because you're going to be beautifully lit. Why do you want to be lit? Well, we're on camera, and as Stephen said earlier, we want to look as good as we possibly can. Something lighting is one of the ways we do that. So getting good lighting will make you appear much better than someone else. So if you're on a team meeting, you've got colleagues at work, then you're going to be the one that's going to be shining out, standing out from the crowd, because A, people better hear you better because of the noise cancelling microphone, and B, people better see you better because you've got that 3-stage ring light as well. Now, it also comes with some Nexigo software, and this is where we can control what we do with this camera. So we can control not only the exposure, the white balance, the hue, the contrast, the color, brightness, everything we can control through the software. So we always say, if something comes with software, download it. It's there for a reason. But it's also got some presets. So actually you can then save. So if I'm using it up here in the office, I know I've got a preset I can use for the office. Doesn't take much adjusting. But if I'm using it down in the kitchen, then I've got a preset for the kitchen, and that's got big windows and the light is always changing. But at least it's going to be fairly accurate when I press the preset, and just takes a little bit of tweaking. Absolutely a fantastic brand, Nexigo. We don't hear a bad word said against them.
We don't.
And actually, if you just look at the reviews, you click on it and look at the reviews, they are just always amazing reviews. It is absolutely fantastic. I was very pleased because it did have a tough act to follow with the C920. But I'm glad to say the Nexigo 930N, I think it is a great little webcam. So that's in the carousel. For some reason, my phone has gone into low power mode. Yeah, the 930N down 25%. So we've got massive discounts today, guys. $59.99. So yes, it might not be a 2K camera or a 4K camera, but it's a 1080 camera with that software, makes it value for that sort of money. So yeah, the Nexigo C930E.
Yeah, I mean, $20 saving is very good.
That's great, isn't it?
I didn't update that. I've been showing that. I'm going to hide that. Stop confusing people. Right. Okay. Now the question of the day: which word is missing from this famous Godfather quote? I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse, ignore, accept, or decline. Shall we say it together, Nick?
Oh, it's got to be refuse.
Okay. Brings us to question 8, which hopefully is on screen now.
It is indeed. I'm just saying, I know we're not picking up the all of them. 250 likes for you, but no soup for you. Did you watch Seinfeld? No, I didn't. Okay. So I don't know what that means. Okay, who wrote the novel upon which the Godfather movies are based? Was it Carlo Collodi, Mario Puzo, Leonardo Sciascia, or Roberto Saviano? All 4 of those sound very Italian type names, but who wrote the novel upon which the Godfather movies are based? Carlo Collodi, Mario Puzo, Leonardo Sciascia, or Roberto Saviano? And if I pronounce those wrong, I apologize to any Italian viewers.
This is where a Latin education comes in. Mind you, it was many years ago. Okay, so basically, we're going to think about the answer to that question. And Nick showed us the Nexigo StreamCam, and I'm going to go in my carousel to the next item in my carousel, which is, I've got some specials for tomorrow as well. So, okay, now the next item in the carousel is a mobile phone. And it is the mobile phone of all mobile phones. It's the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. And that gives me a good enough reason to pick up the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra and just go here. I just want to show you that my headphones are now connected to the mobile phone. And which means that on the mobile phone, I can go here and I can go to Amazon Music. Okay, I can pick out my playlist and I can listen to music. Okay, now last week was 50 years of Tubular Bells. Okay, so if I turn the volume up, I can just sit here and listen to Tubular Bells for the next 30 minutes, but I can't do that really, can I? Okay, so I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop that. I would love to again. I listened to it the whole way through last week in celebration, and it still stands up today as one of the best.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Awesome piece of music. Right, okay, I want to say a big thank you for actually watching us live on Amazon Live today. The time now, just to show that we are live, is 12:05 on the East Coast. It is 5 past 5 in the UK. And we're going to go on to our next item, which is this wonderful mobile phone, which is the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. Now, this was the flagship phone for 2022. And it's still a brilliant phone today. I mean, it still works exactly as it did last year. It just happens that S23 is out. And as Nick keeps saying, when they get a new model, then it's the time to buy the old model. And there's
Exactly.
a $400 saving on this today, 33% off. And that's just not to be sneezed at. And I can say that because I'm suffering from hay fever at the moment. Help! Now, lens-wise, it's got 108 megapixel lens. It's got 3 times zoom, 10 times zoom. The front-facing lens is 40 megapixel, and it takes the most amazing images. It has a built-in stabilizer for when you're taking and shooting video. It takes 8K images and 8K video, and the quality is just, well, it has to be seen to be believed. If I just bring this in here and show you, okay, this is, I'll show you a couple of pictures. So this is Savernake Forest. All these photographs taken with the mobile phone that's featured in the carousel. This is Savernake Forest. The next image, this is the Kennington Canal, near where I live. And the next image here, this is Bath or Bath, depending on where in the UK you're from. And then there's my partner Angelica with her daughter and son. And then we're on to the next photograph. This is my favorite walk. This is the Kennington Canal. This is where I go and do my training. And I'll be here tomorrow walking this very footpath along the Kennington Canal. I just love the composition of this photograph with the trees actually reflecting in the canal itself. You can see the locks going up on the right hand side. It's the longest set of locks in the UK, if not the world. And it's just the quality of images that this camera here actually takes. 3 models available, 128 gig, 256 or 512. It has an integral S Pen, which allows you to take notes. Okay, and if I go here, just give me a second, I just need to concentrate. If I go here, and I have been practicing, this may work. I'm concentrating as well. So hello Amazon. You can take notes at any time. 7 different apps on the mobile phone that you can actually use. In addition to that, if you're in a no phones meeting with the phone off, you can still take notes and you can retrieve them later. With the S Pen, you can use air gestures as well as writing on the phone itself. It is basically everything you'd want in a mobile phone. It was the flagship phone for 2022, holds its own in 2023 as well. If you're looking for a phone with everything, and I mean everything, then the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra is for you. The images, the videos, and the apps. Okay, we love Android. I love Android. Samsung Galaxy. Okay, so let's go back to Nick and I, and on with the quiz.
For sure, for sure. If you like that sort of thing, it's very good. If you're an iPhone person in the carousel, you've got the 12 Pro. So, okay, who wrote the novel upon which the Godfather movies are based? Is it Carlo Collodi, Mario Puzo, Leonardo Sicascia, or Roberto Saviano? And I'm guessing, Stephen, it's Mario Puzo.
Mario Puzo. That's a yes.
Yay.
Which brings on to question 9. Okay, according to The Godfather Part 2, 1974, what is Vito Corleone's original surname, which was changed by Ellis Island immigration officials to the name of his village, Corleone? Okay, so his original surname, was it Tartaglia, Stracci, Bazzini, Andolini? Okay, whilst we're trying to work that one out, Nick, do you have something to show us? What's the 5th item you're going to show us?
The 5th item we've got in the carousel. It's actually the camera I'm looking at right now. I'm just going to find it in the carousel. Sorry, my phone keeps deciding to go into low power mode. But this is the AngTube 4K phone webcam. Just find it there. Come on, where are you? Here we go. The AngeTube 4K webcam. 10% off, $74.69, and this is also a cracking little webcam. It is, as you can see, it's, well, you can't see, but just take my word for it. It is sitting atop my display, my monitor just here. It's got everything you'd expect from a 4K webcam. It's got two noise cancelling microphones. It's got it's actually a stick-on lens cover, but it's got the mountings for tripods, and it's got this 4K Sony lens. It's a 8 megapixel lens, I believe I'm right in saying, and it works absolutely fantastic. Now, the thing I love about it most is it's got this little remote control. So this is how we can control it. So if we're going to show you just how wide the field of view is, I just have to press the button to put it back to reset, which is that one. Ba-dang! There you go. See everything there. So you can zoom in and zoom out. See, I told you there was a box light. Did you believe me? Yeah, it's true. So yeah, so we can zoom in, zoom out. We can move ourselves up and down the screen like that. We can also play around with our hue. We can increase it, or we can play around with our brightness controls like that. I'm sure if I really knew how to do it, I could make it black and white, but sometimes that's just beyond me. But I can do that. Again, not quite sure why I would want to do that, but it's just because I can. So let's move that back up. It has got, listen, everything is under control. So it's got a mute button. It's true, it's muted now, you can't hear me. So we can just mute ourselves, and it's nice because it shows you on screen, the little microphone. And then, of course, it took me ages and ages to work out how to get this off the screen. Ta-da! There we go.
Careful.
It comes back.
That was daring.
I know. I like to live dangerously. Yeah, it is really good. You've got factory resets and everything else. I'm hoping one day they'll actually give us a bit of software as well. But it's got all the control we really need. And I've been using this more recently. I've been using this specifically to record a lot of my ads and things that I've been doing. And of course, as Stephen says, when you're doing it in 4K, and actually I don't use Camtasia because I'm on Mac. I'm using something called ScreenFlow, but same thing applies. We can record ourselves in 4K and then upload in 4K to YouTube, which is awesome. So yeah, so it's the oh, there you go. You got an extra 10% off on the coupon. Well looked at, Si. Thank you very much for that. So yeah, not only is it a great price, but you got an extra 10% off as well. It is absolutely great. I really do enjoy using it. I'm gonna say it's probably, I used to always use this one. But now this one's having a little rest because I'm now using the AngeTube. It is, you know, there's another 4K camera in the carousel, which is the DepthStretch. That comes with its own little tripod, and that's great. But again, it hasn't got as much control that we can play around with. But you just got to find something that works for you. So, you know, just make sure you've got good lighting, play around, see whether you've got the settings that you want. And if you want to go live stream, or sorry, you can't live stream, but if you want to go record yourself in 4K and upload that onto YouTube, scare yourself, then this is a great little camera to do that. So very happy with this. This is the AngeTube. And there's several in the range actually. So if you click on the link, then you'll be able to see lots of different ones and find one which suits you. I think they've actually got some with built-in ring lights as well. So well worth checking out. And I say there's I did message them not so long ago, and they said they got some exciting things in the pipeline. What that means, I genuinely don't know.
But we'll find out now. I'm just going to hide that and just before we actually answer this question, I just want to hide that. I just want to say, just come side by side here. I'll get this sorted in a minute.
Hey.
Now you see your picture doesn't look right now. Let's just go through these. That's okay. That's okay. Back to here. Right, we don't know what's going on. And we're broadcasting from BeLive. There have been updates which we haven't caught up with yet, but I want to talk about something with nothing to do with what we're doing now.
Oh.
And not unusual, is it, Nick? Not unusual.
No.
Right, I live in Devizes, which is in Wiltshire, which is the next county over from Nix County of Hampshire, and we are twinned. And this weekend was twinning weekend. Now, the basic idea is we have visitors from Germany and France, from Weibling and Mayenne, and they come over in force, in their hundreds, to actually join us to celebrate the fact that we're in Europe. We're not going to talk about Brexit. We are in Europe, and we're still European. And it was the 4-day celebration of that, and it just went so well, because even in England, we had 4 days over 70 degrees, and the sun beat down, and everybody had an amazing time. I mean, they're on their way back home now. They're going by coach, by boat, by plane. But it was just an amazing weekend. So I just want to say thank you to everybody involved in the Devizes Twinning Committee, with which I'm chair, for actually getting this organised. Next year, we're actually over there, because it goes from England to Germany to France, then from England to Germany to France. But the important one this year, because of COVID, this is the first time we've done it in 4 years. So twinning is back, is the message from Devizes in England and from everybody who took part. And there were a lot of happy faces leaving on the coaches this morning, going back to Germany and France. And a lot of late nights as well had over the weekend. Great food as well, because everything's catered for. We use the top caterers in Wiltshire, especially in Devizes. And a shout out to Soup Chick, who are based in Devizes and been going for 4 or 5 years now. And they did the catering on Saturday, which was absolutely amazing. In fact, it was a big success. More to come on that, but I thought I'd just take the opportunity to say thank you to everybody who actually got involved. It's a very special weekend, and it's amazing to be part of it. Okay, back to the questions then. And so, according to Godfather Part 2, 1974, what is Vito? We've had this question before, Nick, I think, haven't we? What is Vito Corleone's original surname, which was changed by Ellis Island immigration officials to the name of his village?
It was either Barzini,
Stracci, Barzini, or Andolini, and I know we got it wrong last time.
Yeah, it's either Barzini or Andolini, I think.
Yeah, are we going to get it wrong again? I seem to remember Barzini, but
go for it.
Go for it. Right, third time lucky. If that question ever comes up again,
I'm going to make a note.
Write it down, Nick.
Brilliant. Okay, so right, final question. We're not doing too badly, I don't think. In The Godfather Part 3, with which organization is Michael Corleone trying to make a deal by buying shares? Is it OPEC, United Airlines, Microsoft, or the Vatican? Not quite sure you can get shares.
We're getting to know the gentleman who puts these quizzes together, and he's got the most amazing sense of humor. Okay.
So OPEC, United Airlines, Microsoft, or the Vatican.
Subtle hint. I don't think it should be. What? I could be wrong. I'm not going to say a word. Okay. Okay. Now, the final item I'm going to talk about is the first item we're going to talk about tomorrow, which is the Fitbit Charge 5. Fitbit Charge 5 is the most amazing device. First of all, it's color, it's got GPS, and it's got one job in life, to count your steps. But that's only the beginning. 2,000 steps equals 1 mile. I try and do 4 miles a day. This measures every single step, but it also aggregates the steps, and it tells you how many steps you've done so far. And I'm proud to announce that this year, already. We're not at the end of June yet, and I've done 700 miles so far this year. So my target of 1,000 miles this year is going to be toast by September at the latest. And I stay fit using the Fitbit and take part in park runs as Nick does. And walking is the simplest form of exercise you can get. And the thing is, once you bought this, everything after that is free. Yeah. If you've got a Fitbit, and Fitbit's run by Google, then it'll log your steps. You can log your food with a food diary built in, and you can then measure the calories you've eaten against the calories you've spent. Okay, so you can plot how well you're doing. It records your exercise. It tells you where you've been because it's got GPS. It actually gives you maps as well. And you wear the watch. It is a watch as well. You wear it to bed at night, and basically it will measure your sleep, and it will do deep sleep, light sleep, dream sleep, and when you're awake. And after 4 nights, if you wish, you can have recommendations as to how you can improve your sleep pattern from people who know. So all of the things I'm talking about are free. It is the measurement of steps which leads into putting it all together, how many miles you walk this month or run this year, this quarter, all the information you need. How does your heart behave when you're out walking? Are you doing heart exercise? Are you doing fat loss exercise? All of that is taken care of by the one device, which is the Fitbit Charge 5. And I'll talk more about it tomorrow. But if you're looking for a Fitbit, this one today is 20% off, $119.96, a saving of $33. And it's just worth buying. I mean, you're actually protecting your health by going out walking, and the Fitbit Charge 5 just helps you keep track of exactly what's going on. Okay, so after that very quick presentation, we go on to question 10.
So question 10, in The Godfather Part 3, with which organization is Michael Corleone trying to make a deal by buying shares? Is it OPEC, United Airlines, Microsoft, or the Vatican? I think, well, Microsoft, I think, was way after.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure of that.
And I'm pretty certain you can't get shares in OPEC or the Vatican, so I'm guessing it's going to be United Airlines. The Vatican? You can get shares in the
Vatican. All right. Well, on that note, we've got a C today, 7 out of 10. Okay. You can buy shares in the Vatican. Somebody fact check this.
Yeah.
Because Nick and I are not totally convinced you can buy shares in the Vatican.
No,
I'm pretty sure you can't.
You can give them a donation.
Yeah.
That's just so bizarre.
Nick, it's over to you.
Well, guys, thank you so much. Well, we've not done that badly in the quiz for a while, but never mind. There's always next week. That's what I say. And that is when we'll see you again next week. We're here every Monday, although we might move it. But 11 a.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. in the UK. Until next week, obviously, Stephen is on every day, multiple times a day. So you can go check out Stephen tomorrow. But until next week, have a great week and enjoy. Take care.
And you can check Stephen out on Wednesday when he'll be talking about how to convert your live streams into an earning stream. I just love that title, Nick.
Like that. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, OneStream are doing a sterling job on this. So thank you to OneStream. Thank you to you for watching. From Nick and I, bye for now.